My viewers are my sister Rhonda, my friend Tammy, and my husband Chris. How many of you remember your high school counselor? A couple of you? I remember my high school counselor, Mrs. Webb, and I remember her giving me a skills test that said I had such great eye-hand coordination that I would be perfect for factory work. Not exactly my dream job, but I did do factory work for about 8 years. Unfortunately, I didn't really think about how much the school counselor could have helped me to find out even more about my abilities and what God's talented me with. I would like to suggest to you guys as parents that you look at the professional school counseling career as a way to fulfill the Great Commission and to help your students and your children see this as well. As a mom and as a possible future counselor, I believe that professional school counseling is a great platform for me to help advance God's kingdom and to show students God's love. The school counselors have a great ability to bring students closer to God through the care and the love that they can show them in their job. In the next few minutes, we're going to look at the need for professional school counselors. We are going to look at and examine the personality qualities that you need as a counselor. And last, we're going to look at what or how you can use professional school counseling to fulfill God's plan in your life. Let's begin with our first point. Professional school counselors are needed and helpful to our students. The American School Counseling Association website says that school counselors are a great need in all schools. The ratio that they give on their website says that they need a 250 to 1 ratio. Now, according to this, the 250 ratio is right here. But in America, we hit a 471 students to 1 counselor ratio, which shows a great need for a lot more counselors. Steen and Koffenberger's 2007 article says that counselors have a great impact on students in a lot of different ways, personally, socially, and academically. The 2014 Occupation Outlook Handbook says that counselors help students to fulfill or to succeed in school and in their social skills. Now we're going to move on to point 2, which is that counseling is not for everyone. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics website says that counselors need to have compassion and empathy. They need to have interpersonal communication and listening skills as well. Salmonson, Roten, Jones, and Albrecht said counselors are looked at highly if they show compassion, availability, trustworthiness, and confidentiality when they're talking with their students. Now, to our last point, professional school counselors have an opportunity to do great things for Christ. 1 Timothy 4:12 tells us that we are to be an example to the students that we serve in word, in conversation, in purity, in faith, in spirit, and in charity. John 15:19 commands us to love all students, the outcast, the athlete, the lonely, and the popular. We are to love all people. 1 Peter 4:10 tells us that God has given us each a gift out of his many gifts, and that our purpose is to fulfill that gift and to use it for his glory. In conclusion, professional school counseling isn't for everybody, but if you're looking for a career that you can use to help students, to help children become all that they can be in this life, the professional school counseling may be one of the biggest platforms that you'll find in your community. I believe that God has a place for all of us, that He wants us to use this place to do great things. Are you considering going back to school? Do you have students that are looking for a possible career in the next few years? Professional school counseling may be that career, that opportunity to serve God and yet love what you do. There's jobs in every imaginable field, but I believe that professional school counselors are very needed and very needed and very desirable in our schools in our country today.
6:35. I mean 5:35.